Hello, welcome again to the NexusMindPodcast. I am your host, Abiola Michael, and this is a place where we have honest conversations about who we are becoming and not just what we are achieving. And in this space, we talk about the parts of our life that are often hard to face, the choices we make every day, and the habits we repeat, and the stories we tell ourselves, even the pressure we feel when we want to meet other people's expectations. We also talk about the personal duty we have to step up and become the person we know we can be. That is why I want to talk about the choices that shapes our lives. So my topic today is the choices that shape you. Let me share a thought that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but in truth, your life right now reflects your choices far more than they reflect your good intentions. You know, you might intend to be organized and focused. You might intend to eat healthy, build strong relationships, or speak up for yourself. You might even intend to be honest about who you are and grow into a better person. But actually, intentions are nice, but over time, your repeated actions tell the true story of where you're heading. And the good news today is that this reality gives you ultimate power. If the things you choose to do every day are actually shaping your current reality, then you also have the power to make different choices starting today. So, my friend, let's talk about the life we are building without realizing it. Now, take a pause. Think about your daily habits for a moment. Now, most of us do not wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to ruin my productivity. Today I just want to feel miserable. No, it happens much more quietly than we think. You pick up your phone the second your alarm goes off. You put it off an important notification. You spend hours watching videos online instead of working on your own goals. You make one small excuse today, another one tomorrow, another one the day after. It never ends. Now, none of these small actions actually feel like a big deal when you do them. But in truth, most habits run in a simple three-step circle. And if you're not careful, this routine becomes a loop. Now, let's talk about the three-step circle. And I would call them the cue, the routine, and the reward. Now, the first one comes the cue, right, which is like a trigger. Next is the routine, which is the actual action you take, and finally the reward, and that is the quick feeling you get from doing it. Sometimes you feel stressed, which is your cue, so you grab your phone to scroll and take it or leave it. Sometimes it becomes a routine. Then you get a temporary break from your worries. True, you get carried away. That's your reward. However, this is just like a loop. Is that the end result? Is that the end goal? No, because your brain always likes to get quick rewards. Yes, we know that. In fact, the brain is wired in a way that it remembers the circle and makes it easier to repeat it next time. This is why when you rely only on willpower, it is so exhausting. You can try to force yourself to fight a pattern your brain has practiced hundreds of times, but once you see the pattern clearly, you can stop fighting. Yes, you can stop fighting yourself and start changing the system. And talking about trying to change the system, trying to see the pattern, the loop you have been living in, That brings me to talking about the choice that we make. And this part, I would like to put it to say choosing who you become. You know, now a choice is not just one big life decision you make once a year and all that. No, a choice is what you do when no one is actually watching you. It is what you read and watch. It is the people you listen to. It is the bad behavior you choose to tolerate. It is how you speak to yourself in your own head. It is what you do with your free time. Sometimes it's choosing to build a healthy life, which means when you choose to build a healthy life, you tend to disappoint other people. Yes, we need to talk about that more often. Be yourself. You cannot satisfy people and lose yourself. Do not be the version of yourself that other people want you to be just to make them comfortable or win their approvals. No. The world does not need another fake copy of someone else. It needs people who are brave enough to be real about who they are and clear about where they are going. So, my friend, being authentic does not mean you pretend to be perfect. It means having the courage to own your life stories, and the flaws while working to get better. And that is when you can say, this is where I am today, and not this is where I am, and this is where I have to stay forever. No, those are two different statements. You can be somewhere today and move by tomorrow. But when the statement becomes, this is where I have to stay forever, it becomes permanent. So it means you're not envisioning for change nor growth. So my friend, being yourself does not mean refusing to change. It means choosing the exact direction of your change, which gives you the power of choosing. And honestly, when you're given the power of choice, it means you can either choose to grow or choose to remain the same. And honestly, growth is permissible. It is a great thing. You have full permission to outgrow old parts of your life. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to pick up new interests. You're allowed to set firm boundaries. You're allowed to admit that a goal you wanted 5 years ago does not fit who you are today. You never have to apologize for getting better. We often hold on to old ways of living simply because they feel familiar. But no, familiar does not mean good for you sometimes, my friend. And comfortable does not mean right. People walk the same way. A seed works. A small seed cannot grow into a tree if it stays safe inside its shell. Growth requires pressure. It requires time. It requires care. And sometimes it means leaving the soil you have always known. There are times when you have to let go of an old version of yourself so an healthier version can grow. Discomfort is not always a bad sign. Often it is a proof of expansion. So my friend, every action is a vote. Every choice you make is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you practice discipline, you vote for a person who keeps promises to themselves. When you choose honesty, you vote for a person with strong character. When you take action instead of waiting, you vote for a person who trusts effort over excuses. When you choose to be yourself instead of chasing approval, you vote for a person who knows their true value. When you make a bad choice, you have not ruined everything. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is just a feedback. It is a lesson that shows You what needs attention. The goal is not to be perfect every single day. The goal is to be intentional. And you have to be intentional about what you choose, who you choose, and how you choose to become who you want. Never look down on small decisions. A good life is built quietly, choice by choice, habit by habit, day by day. You do not need permission to grow, my friend. You do not need everyone to agree with you. You just need to make one good choice today, then make another one tomorrow. Over time, your choices become your habits. Your habits become your character, and your character becomes a lifestyle. So be careful with your choices. Be honest about your habits. Give yourself room to grow, and above all, become a person you're proud to live with. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please share this episode with them. Stay mindful, keep growing, and welcome to the Nexus. I am Abiola Michael, and this is the NexusMindPodcast. Bye bye.